The Civic Center, built at a staggering cost of almost $33 million, is finally set to open its doors to the public at the end of April. The official launch will succeed a 45-day period, during which its new managers will be outfitting the sporting and conventional facility to their specifications. The 3-year contract, which was signed this morning, is a joint agreement between the Government of Belize and Apex Event Services Limited.
Apex Events Services was an LLC company established in 2008 in the state of Florida, and the sole proprietor is Mr. Chad Eckert, here with us today. He established his team with different levels of qualifications to bid for the management of the project and has now formally established Apex Events Services Belize Limited with all the legal company requirements and obligations to the country of Belize. That includes all of his tax, legal, and other rules of arbitration to the country of Belize. So that was mandatory for any company who was bidding, even if they were international, because they did bring with them high level of qualifications, but they had to be established as a company operating in Belize.
The idea, says Chad Eckert, is that the locally managed company will be able to capitalize on the use of the available floor space both in and out of the building.
We can have large conventions, small conventions, you have business meetings, you can have trainings. It's basically unlimited for whatever idea you can have here. There's multiple, and we're going to be creating multiple rental venue spots in the building alone. I think we've come up with about 7 different areas in the building that could be rented individually or even simultaneously. You can also have, one of our ideas is where you can rent the inside as well as the outside. You can have like a large expo or something where you can have vendors on the inside, you can have them wrapped around the court inside here, around and upstairs. You can have them all out in the parking lot as well.
What has been of concern to residents of Belize City is the availability of the multi-purpose complex for public use. Government has gone to the pains of stipulating in the agreement that 1,000 hours must be set aside for community use.
In the contract that we just signed, in fact, we have taken very, very good measures in order to make sure that while we want to protect and preserve this facility, that it will be very much available for the wider Belizean population to use. There are negotiated in the contract 1,000 community hours for this facility per year. And that is a lot of hours, and we will be engaging the 2 major associations or federations that are associated with the Civic, that is the Basketball Association and the Volleyball Association. These hours will be determined by them and the wider community. There are some events, of course, that the government, the Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports, Culture, and other government entities will need to utilize the center for. One that immediately comes to mind is that we want to have a grand affair since this year we will celebrate Teachers' Day nationally in the month of May. So we can talk about that right away. We have about 6,000 teachers. They can now be accommodated in one place that has never been done before in Belize's history.
In order to meet its operational expenses and turn a profit, Apex will have to create a schedule of activities that will see the Civic Center in use virtually all year round.
There are 365 days to the year. The secret to generating the revenue, not just to cover the expenses of the Civic, but also to generate revenue back to the government and to make it a profitable venture for Apex, is going to be in our ability to utilize all 365 days of the year. That's, in essence, the sort of secret sauce when it comes to venue management. Not only are there 365 days in the year, but there is also 24 hours in a day, which means that we can have multiple events on any single day. That's up to us to come up with a good conversion team that can convert, for instance, from a convention in the day to a basketball game in the night and then back to something else the following morning.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.